with your compassion.
Everybody, and welcome to the Kohaku channel. Today is a continuation of our Rebel Inc. tutorial. This time it's on government initiatives. Government initiatives is when you open up the screen, it's to the right of civilian initiatives. Hard to see. Now, while some people might not pay a whole lot of attention to it and favor civilian or military initiatives, especially when the insurgency starts going, you got to remember that in the early game, and in the most of the game actually, government initiatives are just, if not more important. So you also have to put a good priority on government initiatives. Now, some of the government initiatives allow you to collect intel on zones over time, such as sending out each individual representatives for each state, or whatever you want to call it, and also create detailed social political maps and regional consensus, which allow you to gain intel on zones quicker, very much quicker. The only way to be quicker in gaining intel really is through military means other than the government ones. So other things that there is will improve zone security. Essentially, it'll make it harder for the insurgents to take over, and may result in casualties when the insurgents are trying to take the zone. One of them is the first one is to start a civilian militia, which will make it harder for the insurgents to take over, but will lower your support level. It will, however, still make it harder for the insurgents to take over, and if only one insurgent unit invades a certain region, the militia might actually take out that unit and stop them from taking over entirely. There's two more. One is local police. The other is local police recruitment and local police expansion. This also makes it significantly harder to take over. It will increase your support level and will result in more casualties for the insurgents. The other things are requesting help from global charities and NGOs, depending on if you allow them. Essentially, you get help from charities and stuff, which will give you free initiatives. People are like, oh, well, that sounds really cool. Thing is, though, depending on what you say to them, depends on what happens. Like, each time there are three options that you get once the NGOs start showing up to help. There is, you can give them full access, which allows them to roll out initiatives relatively quick, but it will result in increased corruption and inflation, like a lot of it. If you give them limited access, they have to follow bureaucratic guidelines, and it'll take longer, but less inflation and corruption. Or you can just be like, just give us some money. Like, you could be like, no, funding only, which is not really as good, really. The other one is anti-corruption, which is very important. There will be a separate video on that later. But essentially, corruption will reduce your support level and make it of where your reputation will actually begin to fall, which is really important. Unless you want to lose the game or something. But why would you want to do that? You're playing to win. What else is there? There is smaller things like an outreach office, which would make, depending on what you do, depending on what outreach you go for, like rural outreach, urban outreach, remote outreach, it'll speed up initiatives in that type of region. There is also, what else is there, really? There are smaller ones, which will give you like universal justice. It'll increase your reputation. You can organize elections, which the insurgents will try to stop and reduce turnout, but that will overall increase your support level throughout the region once it's done. Let's see. Is there any other government outreach, global NGOs? There is the PR and media office, because the insurgents will begin trying to recruit online. So there's that. So essentially, they'll stop them from doing that and spread propaganda and increase your support level. There is the Foreign Relations Office, which becomes more effective over time because midway through the game you'll realize, hey, your foreign rival, he's supplying the insurgents. So you can either be like, hey, stop it, and they'll stop for now, but it'll damage your diplomatic relations. Or after a while, there's publicly accused, counterstrike, which usually doesn't work. But then there is put pressure on them, subtle pressure. And the longer you have the Foreign Relations Office, it's more likely that they will back off permanently, hopefully, eventually. But other than that, that is all the government initiatives that I could think of. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this very helpful. Please hit that like and subscribe button because I'm losing subscribers and that's not good. And I will see you next time.